Next up, at UFC 310, one of the more debated fights on this card. A fight that a lot of people feel is a trap. A lot of people were up in arms, so much so that I actually am getting more and more confident on the other side. You know how that goes. The public decides that this is the best dog in the world. These odds are crazy. And then the world says, the fight game says, yeah, no, you guys are stupid. The odds were correct the whole time. But we have Randy Brown taking on Bryan Battle. Randy Brown, 19-5 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He is on a nice 3-fight win streak, taking on Bryan Battle, 11-2 in his career, 3-1-1 in his last 5. He is coming off an incredible in-cage speech where he was in France and just kind of shit on the French people. Randy Brown's a very good striker, a very good striker. He's super long and he uses that range well. He takes advantage of those opportunities and of those tools. He has long jabs, long kicks, he'll keep you at bay. And then when he's ready, he will use some speed to initiate more closed distance boxing exchanges. He has 9 takedowns in the UFC, and while he doesn't use them very often, he'll have some trips, some uchimatas, and then jiu-jitsu on the mat. He's good. He's a lot of fun to watch, and he's coming off that decision win over Elijah Zaleski, where he did get taken down 4 times, but the striking game was so good, none of that even mattered. He's taking on Bryan Battle. This guy is a dog of a fighter. He comes forward, heavy pressure, throws some bombs, tries to make it happen, is not afraid of a fist fight. He's constantly pressuring, constantly working towards something. We have seen a solid ground game out of him. We've seen that he's never out of a fight. He averages only 1 takedown per fight, and he does have a miserable 28% takedown accuracy, but he's got plenty of cardio and plenty of pace to try to force things to the ground. Famously, he was 300-something pounds, made his debut at heavyweight, got knocked out cold, and then said, this is pathetic. I need to change my life. And he did. He went from 300-something pounds to 170 pounds, and he did it without Ozempic, which is why we don't have a ton of wild, ridiculous, loose skin. This is a guy that physically looks better in every single fight, a guy whose skills look better in every single fight. The problem, though, is while Bryan Battle is impressive, and I have never picked a Bryan Battle fight incorrectly, this is his best opponent. At least his best opponent that he can beat. Renat Fakhretdinov beat him, and I saw that one coming.
I wasn't laughing at you.
I was just saying, I didn't say anything laughable.
I have a quote. Hopefully I remember for a fight later on. That's so funny.
The problem with Bryan Battle is there are still some holes there, and while he's on a streak and he's starting to feel himself, he does get hit. Kevin Gisette hit him a shit ton. Kevin just doesn't hit very hard, but he hit him a ton. Randy Brown hits very hard. Randy Brown has a ton of speed and accuracy, and Randy Brown, if he connects as often or with the same shots that Kevin Gisette did, Randy Brown can be a problem for Bryan Battle. I am still picking Bryan Battle. I think he gets it done. You really can't continue to doubt somebody who's improving the way he's improving, who is showing us he's not afraid to fight. He's not afraid to come forward. He's not afraid to make it ugly. And while Randy Brown is going to be the more technical fighter, I think almost in every single aspect of this sport, Bryan's just got a little more dog in him. And I think that forward pressure, the closing of the gap, the staying in his face may frustrate Randy, who might not let his hands go. Jakey boy, a known Bryan Battle hater. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a very loud, outspoken Bryan Battle hater, and it was never his personality, right? That he's become definitely in the last fight or two. It was just the way he fought. I just thought that he was an overrated striker. I thought that he relied too much on his jiu-jitsu. I called him a jiu-jitsu nerd, and I thought that when he got in trouble, he defaulted that too much. And then he's evolved into the fighter he's became, and it's like, holy shit, this guy is tough as fucking shit. He is, I think what the last fight showed more than anything is the adjustments that his corner can make, which I think is a fantastic thing to know about a fighter, that if something is not working, they will make adjustments, right? I think the game plan for that Juice fight was probably to wrestle, right? Take him down. You saw the takedown attempts, right?
Out heavy,
and he came out, and it wasn't really working, so boom. Okay, second round starts. Let me just get in his face and fucking just outbox him. So they made that adjustment. That honestly is, you can't trust a lot of fucking corners to do that these days. But Bryan Battle has a good corner with him. And in this fight, he might need to make adjustments, right? Maybe in the first round, the length of Randy Brown is getting to him, and he can't. Okay, let's make that adjustment. Now we can go to the wrestling, the grappling. And if he goes to the ground, Bryan Battle is very good there. So I like seeing that he has a corner that can make adjustments, because as he starts moving to the rankings, game plans aren't going to work, right? And it's whatever you can do after that, just like a football game, right? You have your first scripted drive, and it's like, okay, now you actually have to you have to play the game now. It's not scripted anymore. And I like Bryan Battle. I think his toughness here. I think he's got a grappling advantage on the ground if he wants to take it there. And Randy Brown of the two guys has been the more chinny guy. So if they just start getting each other's face and throwing, I know Randy Brown's got power too, but I kind of trust Bryan Battle's chin, a little bit more. So I've been a Bryan Battle hater. I am fully on board. I will say right now, to finish it off, there is not a chance in hell, Angelo, that the universe will allow Bryan Battle to fucking lose after that speech that he gave. It just doesn't work out, right? You cut the promo, and then the WWE doesn't have you losing your next fight after you cut a world fucking famous promo that everybody saw and loves. There is not a chance the universe lets Bryan Battle lose after that fucking promo. That thing was, I listened to that, and I was like, oh, I love Bryan Battle now.
What did he say? I'm not going to lose to a Frenchman in a fist fight?
And his voice is like this, too.
Yeah.
You think I was going to lose to a French dude?
Did he call him a pussy?
I can't remember.
I thought he said something aggressive in a fist
with
fight
the gold
in
chains,
France. Yeah, in France.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. He's a good dude.
It was an unbelievable post-fight speech. But I'm picking Bryan Battle here, but I saw somebody in the comments, and I don't necessarily disagree with this, where, hey, if Bryan Battle lets his ego take over and he comes forward, thinks he's invincible, he's on this win streak, dude, Randy Brown does have the power, does have the accuracy.
Randy Brown's the guy that lands one jab and he starts like doing this in front of your face and like doing the Ali shuffle.
That's more showman than ego. Bryan Battle might just march forward, chin up.
Ego.
Well, either way, we are on the Bryan Battle side. $8,700 in DraftKings Fantasy. Listen, it's going to be interesting because he has looked like that, right? We're not seeing a lot of boring Bryan Battle decision wins. So he has looked like an $8,700 fighter in pretty much every single fight. This one will be interesting. I am looking forward to it. I'm undecided with my DraftKings Fantasy lineup, even though the pick has been decided. If you want to check out not only my pick and Jacob's picks, but Artem's picks, the artificial intelligence, all of our bets, the round line leans, the tools, and more. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top.
All right, let me read this quote because I was going to wait till the fight, but I'll probably forget, and I just want to read it now. So this is this is Crone Gracie, and this is like the epitome of fucking Crone Gracie. That dude doesn't give a fuck. He was asked about the placement on the card because a lot of people are pissed that he's on the main card, like Aljo and Evloev are not on the main card. So he's like, they asked him about that or whatever. This is the quote. He started off by saying, like, I don't really care, basically. Like, it is what it is. And then he said, but I think that the placement of the fight but I think the placement of the fight is kind of not the most important thing, and I don't really care where I'm at on the card. The sooner the better, really. I get to go on with my life after that.
Yeah, it sounds like a guy who's going to fight his ass off.
The sooner the better so I can get on with my life is what
this dude's just trying to get out of his contract. This dude's fighting his last fight in his contract so he can just be fucking done.
Dude, I read that and I was like, I read that and I go, uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly. And you've been pretty high on that Muppet this whole time.